BMW Fault Code P1530 is triggered when there's an issue with the camshaft position actuator on bank 1. This means the car's computer is detecting an unusually high signal coming from the actuator, indicating a problem in how it controls the camshaft's timing. If left unaddressed, it can impact your engine's performance and efficiency, but the good news is that it's a problem you can fix yourself with the right guidance. Let's walk through the process. Here are some signs that your BMW may be experiencing this issue. Check engine light, the most obvious indicator. Rough idling. You might feel vibrations or uneven performance when your car is idling. Reduced engine performance. The car might feel sluggish or unresponsive when accelerating. Limp mode. In some cases, your BMW may enter a protective state called limp mode, which limits the engine's power to prevent further damage. Understanding what causes fault code P1530 is key to fixing it. There are 4 main possibilities. Faulty camshaft position actuator. This part controls the camshaft's timing and can wear out or fail over time. Wiring problems. The wires that connect the camshaft actuator to the car's control module can become damaged or corroded, leading to incorrect signals being sent to the engine. Oil-related issues. The actuator relies on oil pressure to function correctly. If your oil is low or dirty, it can affect how well the actuator works. PCM, powertrain control module, issues. While rare, the PCM itself could be malfunctioning, sending the wrong signals to the camshaft actuator. Let's dive into the fixes. Step 1. Check the wiring. Start by inspecting the wiring around the camshaft position actuator. Disconnect the battery to prevent any electrical mishaps. Check for visible damage like cracks, frays, or corrosion on the wiring and connectors. If the wiring looks faulty, replacing or repairing it should be your first step. Wiring problems are often one of the easiest and cheapest fixes for this issue. Step 2. Test the camshaft position actuator. If the wiring looks fine, the next step is to test the actuator itself. To do this, you'll need a multimeter to measure the resistance between the actuator's terminals. Disconnect the actuator and test it with the multimeter. Refer to your vehicle's manual for the proper resistance values. If the reading is off, it's a sign that the actuator is faulty and needs to be replaced. Step 3. Check and change the oil. Oil quality and level can have a direct impact on how the camshaft position actuator functions. Low oil or oil that hasn't been changed in a long time can clog up the actuator, causing it to malfunction. Start by checking the oil level and top it up if necessary. Even better, perform a complete oil change using high-quality oil that meets BMW specifications. If your car hasn't had regular oil changes, this might be the root cause of the problem. Step 4. Replace the camshaft actuator if necessary. If your testing shows that the camshaft position actuator is faulty, the next step is to replace it. Here's how you can do it. Disconnect the battery. Safety first. Always disconnect the battery before working on electrical components. Remove the valve cover. This will give you access to the camshaft actuator. Unplug the actuator. Carefully disconnect the electrical connector. Install the new actuator. Remove the old actuator and install the new one. Be sure it's aligned properly and secured in place. Reconnect the wiring. Reconnect the electrical connector and put the valve cover back on. Reconnect the battery. Once everything is back in place, reconnect the battery. Step 5. Clear the fault code. After you've repaired or replaced the faulty component, it's important to clear the fault code using an OBD2 scanner. If you don't clear the code, the check engine light will remain on, and your car may still run in limp mode. Once cleared, restart your engine and let it idle for a few minutes. If the check engine light stays off, the problem has been successfully resolved. Fixing BMW Fault Code P1530 may sound daunting, but by following these simple steps, you can get your car back in top shape without needing an expensive mechanic. Remember to regularly check your oil levels and keep your wiring intact to prevent this issue from happening again. If the problem persists or you're not comfortable with these repairs, it's always a good idea to consult a professional mechanic.